Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel.
See people, if you drink too much Beverly, this is what it does to you.
Yes! Good news! If you are new here, welcome. I am Dana. I am the mom of the sAWhirlwind family. However, we're getting a new mom. So my daughter Langley is in her 36th week of pregnancy. I know a lot of you guys that have been following along, that have seen the pregnancy announcement, the gender reveal, the baby shower, follow us on Instagram. You've been wondering exactly how far along she is and when her due date is. Well, her due date is October 2nd, which has some problems in itself. We'll get into that. But first of all, we're going to mention that in about week 27-ish, somewhere in there, Langley developed gestational diabetes, which kind of really threw us for a loop. You know, Langley's not overweight. I didn't have it in my pregnancies. My mom didn't have it in hers. So, I mean, it just can hit anybody actually. So for the first like 2 weeks, they tried to control it, you know, with diet, just, you know, no breads, cutting down on sugar, that type of thing. But after that 2 weeks, Baby Diva, had went from the 40th percentile to the 84th percentile. And so she was growing at an alarming rate of speed, getting way too big. So they decided it was time to put Langley on insulin. And during that time, at that point, she was basically having to go to the doctor every week, having ultrasounds and stress tests every week. On a positive note, she gets ultrasounds every week, which is not something you would normally get. So it's really neat to be able to see more ultrasound pictures. Oh, and I forgot to mention that video is up on the channel too when Langley did the 3D scan, which is just absolutely amazing. Just wow, they didn't have that when I was pregnant with them, but just all I can say is it's amazing. If you've never seen a 3D, 4D scan, I will link that video up above right now. You have to see that. Parts of it's actually really creepy. For a couple weeks, she was just doing insulin at night because luckily it was more of her fasting numbers. Her first morning check, because, you know, she's having to check her blood every time after she eats and when she wakes up. She was just on insulin at night before she went to bed. But by week, somewhere between 34, 35, one of those 2 weeks, she went on insulin twice a day. And other than that, she's really doing really well. Baby Diva is extremely active. Langley will send me videos of her moving. She'll send me pictures like this one of basically her body just all disfigured, like lopsided. She said the other night it really freaked Colby out because she did some like somersault zombie move is what Langley says, and it just, you could just see the like extra movement and her like pushing on a certain part, you know, at a certain area, and it just creeped Colby out because it just looked like, you know, this creature inside Langley's body wanting to break out like you would see on a horror movie. She said his eyes got real big. she is not doing this. I'd asked her, did she want to give y'all an update? But, you know, she's in her 3rd trimester, kind of emotional, and she really doesn't like to talk about the diabetes. So she's like, you do it. You know, you inform them. So that's what I'm here doing. Now let's get to the due date. When Langley originally told us, well, told me, she said the due date was September 16th. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is absolutely like perfect. That, you know, gives you time to have her, get home. I can, you know, help out around the house if needed. And then Tom and I can leave for our Disney vacation for Disney's 50th anniversary. Disney World, Magic Kingdom's 50th anniversary. Well, this was actually before the first appointment. This was her calculations. And she went to the doctor and she's like, Mom, you're not gonna believe this, but actually I was off. And her due date is October 2nd. Guys, October 2nd is the day that Tom and I check out of the Wilderness Lodge. So many months before Langley was even pregnant, Tom and I booked our Disney World trip because for a good 7-8 years, I have said I want to be at Magic Kingdom on their 50th because I was born in 71, Magic Kingdom opened in 71. It was just a big thing for me to be there. So we actually got tickets because at that point we let our passes lapse because of the whole virus thing, which was really weird to not be an annual pass holder because we've been an annual pass holder for years and years. And we went ahead, we bought our ticket, which was literally like $150 a person, like absolutely insane, but it was that important to me to be there on the 1st. And so we have tickets for October 1st for Magic Kingdom. We were actually able, as soon as they offered the park pass, they opened that day up. That day I booked our reservations. I think it was kind of under the radar to a lot of people. It was so many months in advance. I think a lot of people, it didn't even click to them like, oh, we need to make reservations for the park for Magic Kingdom that day. But luckily we got that. And now her due date is October 2nd. But she won't be born in October. She will be born this month, which is absolutely, it's hard to even fathom that my first grandbaby is going to be here this month. Because of the diabetes, they will not let her go to the 2nd. So we figured, oh, okay, well, this might work out because they'll probably, you know, they could induce her like maybe around the 21st or something like that. Because it was just like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? But early on we realized, oh, you know, at first I was like, let's get to the virus thing and the birth. So, you know, earlier on in the year, I really didn't think we would be still in the situation we are in with the virus. Because at that point, you know, they weren't allowing but, you know, one person in the hospital for a birth. And obviously that's going to be Colby. And I kept thinking, oh, well, by October, I'll be able to go in there. Well, we all know how things are. And I will still not be allowed, which is really just heartbreaking that my first grandbaby, I can't be there. And I know there's other worse heartbreaking things out there, I know. But what's affecting us right now the most is the fact that only Colby can be there for the birth. And because I was just like, oh my gosh, what are we gonna do? And this was before the diabetes thing. You know, I've got to be on standby to leave because we're driving down on the 25th of September. I got to be able to just leave, know what flights are available and fly back. And Langley's like, Mom, you can't be in the hospital anyway. Like, why would you fly back? And Tom would stay there and enjoy our vacation. I'm like, because I want to be there when you guys come home. And if something was like to go wrong, you had to have a C-section. And she's like, Mom, you still can't come in even if I have a C-section. And then she gets the gestational diabetes, and now most likely they will keep her like 2 nights to monitor her, monitor Baby Diva because of the diabetes. And so it's still up in limbo. I've even checked to see if we can move our dates, and we go, you know, the September 30th. But of course, everything is completely booked. DVC, because we're using our DVC points. Everything is completely booked up. We can't move our dates. Langley just went to the doctor 2 days ago, and they have actually scheduled her induction because, you know, with the diabetes, they induce early. So the doctor was like, because she was growing so fast at one point, they were really thinking, okay, it's going to be earlier and earlier. But then the insulin was helping. Now Baby Diva has slowed down. She's at 50%. And as long as she stays, you know, around that and doesn't start to grow too fast again, or there isn't other diabetes complications, the doctor's like, I don't want to induce you into 39 weeks, which puts Langley at September 25th, the day we leave. But that's a Saturday, and the doctor actually is not scheduled for Saturday, so she's scheduled for Monday the 27th. The doctor said most likely she'll go in Sunday night when they start the induction, so that Baby Diva would most likely be born the 27th. Of course, that could be the 28th. But the virus is going to play another role in this birth or the induction. Because what happens is on Sunday night, they will call the hospital and say, okay, I'm supposed to be there such and such time. Do you have room for me? Because if they don't have room, they will move the induction. They will reschedule it because the hospital's just kind of being full and that type of thing. And that's actually happened to one of Langley's acquaintances. Is they were scheduled for an induction on a Friday. They called Thursday night. They said, don't come, we don't have room for you. And they had to reschedule it for the following Monday. So that could happen too. You know, unless Baby Diva decides to come early, we just don't know. So as of now, Tom and I are still driving down on September 20th.
And I forgot to mention that Colby will be FaceTiming me when Baby Diva is about to arrive. So I will still kind of get to be there.
We would love for little prayers to make sure that the diabetes stays in check, that all goes well with the rest of the pregnancy, and of course, and the birth. And I still can't get over that. In a month, like this month, wow, we're gonna have a new addition to the family. That is just like, wow. Sorry, I think I'm having like sympathy, emotional things. I've been so like emotional lately over just Baby Diva, the pregnancy, you know, hoping Langley's okay. Like, I think it's sympathy hormones. I really think that's it. So that is the update for you guys. You have any questions, just comment below, and I will definitely get to everybody's, oh my gosh, everybody's questions. We'd love a thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. And so the next video you guys will be waiting for is, of course, her name announcement, and yeah, and the birth. Oh, and Skylin, I guess that's another reason I'm emotional. Skylin leaves in just a few days for her study abroad trip. She'll be in Myrtle for 3 months. Yes, Baby Diva will be 2 months old before Skylin even gets to, you know, hold her. So prayers for a safe trip, and just safety for Skylin when she's there. So Skylin will be sending me footage. So if you're curious about Merida and her study abroad, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button, because when she sends me enough footage, I will be making vlogs for her study abroad trips. And so I have no idea when those will be uploaded. So that's why you got to hit that bell notification button. Okay guys, remember, adventure awaits. Like, a lot of adventure is coming our way.
So stoked we are getting done. Bags packed, so we're on the run today.